Hey everybody, Chief Meteorologist Brad Panovich here. Quick update on the cold temperatures heading our way and a little bit about the snow threat, which continues to minimize to almost zero. Is it zero? No, but even the little threat we had going into the weekend has further trended down. And that's really what I want to start with is my winter weather forecasting rules. So I showed you this last week, and when people started sharing those viral, single model run Facebook posts and on Twitter and TikTok, and I tried to emphasize to people that you cannot look at individual snowfall maps so far out. We were looking more at a favorable pattern. And last week, there was a favorable pattern 7 to 10 days out. But I can tell you that pattern has completely kind of vanished for us. And we're in that 5 to 7 day, almost 3 to 5. And what's happened is this has trended down. Over the weekend, instead of looking at one single model, I wanted to wait for a series of runs, 4, 5, 6 in a row to look at a trend. What happens way out in the future, people look at one run and every 6 hours they flip-flop back and forth. So needless to say, the cold is coming, the snow is not. Now, that doesn't mean that there isn't going to be some really interesting close calls. And I'm going to first talk about one close call, which I think could be coming maybe sooner than you think. Let's back this all the way up. We're going to go all the way back to today. And we're going to go through the bigger pattern here. So this is today. We're going through the overnight hours into early Tuesday. So today is the 19th, tomorrow is the 20th. There's a little southern stream system that's going to pass to our south. We've got some pretty cold air over us. And what's interesting, and you probably haven't seen much on this, but I do think it's going to be something that might be a little surprise to most people. There's enough moisture that could sneak north on Tuesday that we could see a little snow flurry or even a little bit of sleet mixing in with some rain to the south. Now, is this going to be a big deal? No. But just a heads up, if you were kind of paying attention to Christmas weekend, I would not be surprised if this little system jaunts a little bit further north, throws enough moisture in here that we maybe get a few snowflakes or some sleet pellets mixing in with that rain, which is primarily to the south. So that's just something that could happen on Tuesday. Let's talk about later this week when the Arctic front comes. And here's the thing I want to emphasize in this vlog is do not focus on snow. It is not going to be a white Christmas unless you're in the mountains. You need to focus on the cold. This is legit Arctic air. So you need to get your house, your animals, your car all ready for some of the coldest air we've seen in a couple of winters. The coldest we were all last winter was 18 degrees for a low. I do think we'll be below that, and not just for one night, maybe a couple nights in a row. So it's a 2 or 3 day span of really cold air. So if you haven't winterized your irrigation system or you got your hose still connected, those are things you're definitely going to want to be careful of because this is potentially going to be one of the coldest Christmases we've seen in quite some time. So you see some of the moisture trying to come north, and this is on the 22nd. So this is going to be Thursday. We start seeing some moisture here. It's all rain because we're getting the southerly flow developing ahead of the front. The Arctic front is here in the plains. So there could be some wintry weather in the mountains. And I said, if you're in the mountains watching this, you're going to get some snow. Here comes the rain on Thursday into Friday. The one thing I'm watching is maybe some severe weather along the coast. And just a heads up, there's so much warm air getting pulled in here, we might see some severe weather. So the first little wave moves by, and here comes the Arctic front. This is going into Friday morning. Friday morning, here comes the front. And someone asked me, could Friday reach the low 50s? Absolutely, because ahead of the Arctic front, as cold as it is behind it, you pull up really warm air ahead of it, and here comes the Arctic air on the backside. By the way, for all the folks that were excited for snow on Christmas weekend, Thursday, Friday, that's the actual storm that the guidance was showing you a couple weeks ahead of time, or even a week and a half ahead of time. It's just that you can't look at actually the specific location so far out. It's going to be back here more in the Midwest as opposed to our south. So it's there. The timing was right. It's on the eastern part of the North America. It's just not over the Carolinas. So that Arctic front continues to push east on Friday. It dives through the area Friday night. Temperature plummets, and I'm talking down into the teens by Saturday morning. So Christmas Eve, really cold air. For that Panthers game, we might not make it into the low 40s. The coldest Panthers game on record is January 3rd, 2010 against the Saints. We certainly could see temperatures that rival that for the coldest on record. Christmas Eve, man, down into the teens. So, Christmas Eve services, midnight mass, it's going to be cold. And then Christmas Day, I mean, we are in the heart of the cold air. It is just all over us, and we're talking serious cold air. So just for the snow lovers, I'll quickly show you kind of the model blend of all of the models, not one run, all of the models, ensembles over time to show you what the snowfall potential looks like. And you can see Tuesday to Wednesday, you see that little bit of flurry action? So that's why I think tomorrow might be a little bit more of a surprise for a few folks. Not that it's going to mount much, you can see it's nothing, but there could be a few flurries Tuesday into Wednesday. We'll go into later this week. This is Thursday into Friday. We get into Friday afternoon. You can see the system moving across the Great Lakes in the Midwest. And then we go into Saturday and Sunday. We'll go through Christmas Day. This is Christmas Day, so this is the 18th. I'm going to go all the way into Monday morning, 7 a.m. So this is by Monday morning the 26th. Notice this is where the snow is, folks. If there's going to be a white Christmas, it's primarily going to be up here. Even here, this is a little bit of a question mark. And you can see here, not happening. So no chance there, except for those flurries on Wednesday or Thursday. So what about the temperatures? I think the temperatures are something I've been keeping a close eye on. So this is also the blend of the models, which will show you the high temperatures. So first things first here, let's show you the high temperatures. We'll go into tomorrow, low to mid 40s. That's why we could see a little sleet or snow early on. We go into Wednesday, mid 40s, so pretty cold. On Thursday, maybe upper 40s. And notice the big warm up just ahead of the Arctic front. So you see all the 60s in eastern North Carolina. And then we go into Christmas Eve. That's the high temperature Christmas Eve, folks. That's the model blend. So maybe just barely getting back to freezing. We could have 24 hours below freezing. Then we go into Christmas Day, high temperature mid 30s. We go into the 26th, upper 30s to near 40. And then next week we get back into the 40s, which is still cold for this time of year. But you can see that is a really cold stretch of weather, especially when you look at Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. That's really cold. So let's quickly look at the low temperatures, because I think the low temperatures will be more of a shock to you. So we'll go to the low temperatures. You see the cold air this week. Let's go into the weekend. So this is Friday morning, upper 30s, but look at Saturday morning. So Saturday morning, Christmas Eve, below zero, single digits in the mountains, teens, mid-teens in the Piedmont. That's 16 degrees in Charlotte. That'd be the coldest in several years. And then we go back to Christmas morning, 17 degrees. And I think it could be colder than that, because if the skies clear out and we have calm winds, that'll set the stage. So you're looking at mid-teens for a couple of mornings. So 3-4 mornings in a row. This is the kind of cold that really causes major issues. So what you should be preparing for in this scenario, I'll go back to Christmas, and we'll go back to the high temperature, because I think the high temperature, most people, you expect it to be cold in the morning, but how cold is it going to be during the day? That's Christmas Day. So I'll leave you with Christmas Day. Cold air is on the way. We are not going to see a white Christmas. A statistical average for a white Christmas is about 2%. Last week I gave you like a 5 to 10% chance, which is above average but still tiny. This today, as of this post, I would say we're probably at a 4%. So it's even lower. It's not near the 2% average, but it's pretty low, folks. Don't count on a white Christmas. It is going to be about the cold, and I cannot emphasize this enough. I know snow is fun. Everybody loves snow on Christmas. The cold is the thing that causes danger. Causes people to get frostbite, causes pipes to burst, causes fires because people try to heat their home, carbon monoxide. Cold is the real deal. That's the thing that causes the biggest issue. So please prepare for the cold right now, because I think that is going to be our biggest issue going forward. Of course, if anything changes, I will post updates throughout the week. I will probably post sporadically. I am on vacation, and I'll be back for Christmas Eve, by the way, and into Christmas Day. So I will be here for this cold snap as I fly back in on Christmas morning.